So in this video here, we're going to be talking about Facebook stock and my top 3 reasons why you would be considering investing in this stock at this point in time. Now, I've been bullish on Facebook stock for quite some time. I started buying shares of this company after the Cambridge Analytica scandal, and I also picked up more shares after the recent sell-off. And if you guys are in my private stock market community, Stock Radar, you get to see my real stock portfolio and you know exactly what I'm investing in and when I am buying that. So that is when I started adding Facebook stock, primarily during those 2 sell-offs. And that's kind of my favorite time to be picking up shares, is when there is what I believe to be unjustified pessimism surrounding that stock. But the first thing I want to do is just cover a brief history of what's been going on with Facebook stock in the beginning to middle of 2018. So first of all, from mid-March to the end of March, we saw that Facebook stock slid around 18% due to this Cambridge Analytica data scandal. And that is when I initially started buying shares of Facebook stock in the $150 range. In my opinion, I felt that this would not affect Facebook at all. It would be just some short-term bad press and it would blow over. Now, what happened after that was something I never expected to see happen. From April to the end of July, Facebook stock rallied over 42%. It climbed over 42% in that time frame, and it's what I would call an insane, unsustainable rally with Facebook stock. I expected them to come back to the range they were trading in before Cambridge Analytica. I did not expect them to be making all-time highs in 2 to 3 months after that. So that was unbelievable to see that. And in my opinion, it was an unsustainable rally with Facebook stock. And then at the end of July, Facebook reported earnings, and from the end of July to August, Facebook stock slid 21% on a slight revenue miss and global daily active user miss. And this really freaked out Wall Street, as they were beginning to realize that a company the size of Facebook cannot grow as fast as they've grown previously. One of the main reasons is because they've achieved market saturation, where so many people know about the platform and are already using it. It's hard to find people that don't already know about Facebook and want to begin using Facebook or the other social media platforms owned by Facebook. But I've heard a lot of people saying that they're concerned about investing in Facebook, or they think this is a time to sell Facebook. And in my opinion, I think this is the exact opposite of that. This is a good time to be loading up on shares of this company. Now, of course, you guys need to do your own due diligence whenever you invest. Learn more about this company, why it is you'd want to invest in it. But I want to give you guys my top 3 reasons why I'm personally invested in this stock, and I'm very bullish in the long term on Facebook. The number 1 reason why I'm investing in Facebook is actually because of Instagram. I full-heartedly believe that Instagram is going to be bigger than Facebook in the next couple of years, and I've even personally been investing quite a bit in that platform. I've been building up my own personal page on Instagram. I purchased one of the largest investing Instagram accounts out there, and that's just because personally I believe this is going to be a superior platform in the long run. Now, a lot of people are saying, wait a second, doesn't that mean Facebook is going to go out of style? It's going to be the next MySpace? Absolutely not. And the reason for that is because Facebook has become extremely popular with the older generation. So I think that you're going to see the older generation sticking to what's familiar. They're going to be sticking to Facebook, and you're going to see the younger generation, if they haven't already, moving more over and using Instagram. And this was even a conversation I had with some of my younger cousins a couple of weeks ago. I asked them, what's hot right now? What are people using? And they're saying, okay, Snapchat's not cool anymore. Instagram is where it's at. And Facebook, I don't really like Facebook anymore. So if you ever want to get a good idea of what is going on as far as what's cool and what's not, ask a high schooler, because that is the group that determines what app is hot, what app is everyone using, how are you staying connected with your friends. And right now, Instagram is winning for young people. We know that Snapchat made some huge mistakes with their platform updates, and as a result, more and more people moved over to Instagram, as they had that same ability to have the stories feature and pretty much everything else Snapchat had to offer. So I don't see Snapchat going anywhere good from this point in time forward, and I see nowhere but up for Instagram to go in the next 2 to 3 years in terms of daily active users and the number of people using this platform. So my prediction is that we're going to see Facebook pretty much be flat here in terms of their growth, or have much slower growth going forward in terms of their daily active users and such. But we're going to be seeing high growth with Instagram for the next couple of years. And sure, you could be worried about the slowing growth of Facebook, but when Facebook also owns the #2 platform, it's a fact that I believe a lot of people overlooked. And the other thing you have to realize with Instagram is that there are so many different ways they could be making money with that platform. They could follow what YouTube is doing and Google is doing and have pre-roll ads involved in the Instagram videos, or they could be doing ads inside the Messenger. There are so many different ways. They could do ads within the stories, but you know what? They're not doing it yet. And it means if they want to make more money going forward, all they have to do is turn the dial, and all of a sudden they're putting ads on the stories of Instagram, or ads inside the messaging on Instagram, or ads before videos, and next thing you know, they're making billions and billions of dollars off that app. So there is so much untapped potential with Instagram right now that is being overlooked by people that are afraid of investing in Facebook simply because of the numbers they've seen in that most recent earnings report. And I am incredibly bullish on Facebook just because of Instagram alone. Now, the second reason I like Facebook as an investment is due to the valuation. When you actually take a look at the valuation of these shares, and what I'm going to be doing is comparing it to their main competitor, which is Google. So when it comes to digital advertising, there are two companies that are absolutely dominating this space. It is Facebook and it is also Google. And maybe you're going to have some others creeping in there. I'm sure Amazon is going to be creeping in as far as digital advertising goes. But for the time being, Google and Facebook own this space. So according to eMarketer, the US digital advertising market share between Google and Facebook is a combined 56.8% of the market. So they are absolutely dominating this space. So if you're bullish on digital advertising, if you're bullish on new media, then you would be interested in one of these two companies, either Facebook or Google. And so when you actually sit down and look at the valuation of these shares, you can see that Facebook is not nearly as expensive as Google stock. So first of all, looking at the price to earnings ratio, the price to earnings ratio for Facebook is a 25.4 compared to a 33.7 for Google. Looking at the forward PE, we see Facebook comes in at a 22 while Google comes in at a 26. And looking at that price to earnings to growth ratio, Facebook comes in at a 1.2 while Google comes in at a 1.7. Now, do I believe in both of these companies? Absolutely. I've owned Google shares in the past. I'm sure I will own this stock again in the future. But if you're looking at these two companies, if you want to be involved in digital advertising, you're going to want Facebook or Google. And between the two of them right now, I think you can get Facebook stock at a bargain. And the other thing about digital advertising that we have to mention here is that digital advertising is still tiny, and we just now in 2017 reached the tipping point where finally digital ad spending was more than spending on TV advertisements. So according to Magna, which is an independent researcher, digital advertising beat TV advertising for the first time in 2017, and it came in at $209 billion for global digital advertising spending, or 41% of the market, and $178 billion was spent globally on television advertising at 35% of the market. Now, where do you guys think this is going to go from here? Do you think next year in 2018, TV advertising is going to go through the roof and digital advertising is going to bottom out? Absolutely not. We're going to see TV advertising continue to taper off while digital advertising continues to climb. And if we understand the basics of supply and demand here, when you have more and more people looking to advertise to the same customer base, you're going to see those ad rates climb higher and higher. And as those ad rates climb, you're going to see companies like Facebook and Google making more and more money for that advertising space. So more and more people are going to be switching to digital advertising and social media advertising and moving away from traditional advertising like magazines and television and radio. And all of that money is going to be coming over to Facebook and Google and whoever else is going to become the third and fourth player of the digital advertising space. And then my third reason for investing in Facebook just comes down to the fundamentals and looking at the balance sheet. Google and Facebook both have wonderful balance sheets here in terms of their financial strength. And I want to go ahead and highlight some of the key points here from Facebook's balance sheet and why I'm invested in them as a fundamental investor. So as of their Q2 2018 earnings report, Facebook has $11.5 billion in cash and cash equivalents. And the other thing that's amazing about Facebook is that this is a company with $0 in inventory. They're not selling anything. They don't have any products. They don't have warehouses out there full of inventory waiting to sell it, sitting on inventory. It's such a lean business for them because they have no inventory. They're not sitting on products. They're just offering advertisement space and making money from advertisers. So it's a super lean business, and that is what I love about it. The other thing is that they have $0 in long-term debt. There are not a lot of companies out there that you can say have no debt in terms of their long-term debt. Now, yes, they do have some debt that is owed in the next 12 months in terms of short-term debt, but they have $0 in long-term debt. And the number one thing that determines the financial health of a company is their debt load. And I always pay attention to the debt load of a company when I'm investing in them, because maybe things are great for a company right now if they have a sizable debt load. They're making tons of money, they're acquiring companies left and right, but it's working for them right now. Well, as soon as we see the economy retract and we see that turn around for them, next thing you know, they're paying interest on that debt, and that begins to burden them, and they are in poor financial health. The number one thing that's going to help a company in a poor financial time or a poor economy is having a boatload of cash and having very little debt. And Facebook hits both of those marks for me. Again, looking at the balance sheet here, Facebook has $90 billion, roughly $90 billion in assets and $11 billion in liabilities. And so to put that into context here, for every dollar that Facebook owes, they have over $8 in assets. So think about that if that was you, if this was your personal situation. Maybe you had $1,000 on a credit card, but you had over $8,000 in assets to back that up. And you also have enough cash on hand to pay off all of your debts tomorrow. That is the exact situation that Facebook is in here. They have $11.5 billion in cash and cash equivalents, and they have $11 billion in liabilities. So they have enough money to pay off all of their debts and have $500 million sitting there left over. That is a fantastic situation to be in. So Facebook and Google both have very strong balance sheets, but when you compare the valuation of these two stocks, I'm leaning towards Facebook at this point in time. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. This is why I'm an investor in Facebook stock. This is why I'm bullish on this stock at this point in time. I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section below, whether you are investing in Facebook or you don't like this stock. Let me know either way. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you are interested in learning more about investing in the stock market, I've created a free course just for you. The link is in the description below. Here are a few other videos you might enjoy as well.